Welcome to Amazon Ads Raw Daily with your host, Alex.
Welcome back to another fantastic episode of Amazon Ads Raw. Today we're gonna be a bit more nerdy and technical than I used to be. We will talk about search query performance data, but in a way that we have never talked about it, namely using the search query performance data to build your own model, your own data model. How you can do that, what kind of metrics you might want to add to the standard metrics, and so on and so forth. This is a look into Power BI, a tool that I've used over the past couple of years already. It doesn't necessarily has to be Power BI in case you want to build something yourself. You can also build it within Excel. You could build it within Google Sheets or within any other kind of reporting tool that you like. This is just like an example of how we did it, and I want to go through a few metrics that I think are important, and then a few visualizations that you might want to leverage as well. So let's start with the main kind of things. SQP comes in multiple avenues. It comes in a brand level report that has 1,000 rows per week. It comes in an ASIN level report that has 100 rows per week per ASIN. And you can download the SQP data on a weekly level. You can download it on a monthly level or quarterly, or I'm not sure if yearly is available. So there's multiple ways on how you can download SQP data. For me, over the years, the most effective was to use the weekly data, as it shows the best what impacts your actions, changing price, changing PPC, whatever, is having on your SQP data. And so this whole thing I'm showing you today is a weekly brand level based model and report. Obviously, you can choose to build like other variations. Monthly seems to be fine as well, in case you have like other goals with the data, for example. So some of these metrics, I will not go through each of the metric in this video. That's not my aim. I'll try to explain you a few things, what I did here, and a few metrics, and then we'll go into some widgets. But honestly, if you do Amazon ads and you do it well, you need some sort of market competitor insights and analytics, and SQP is the best first party data that is available. It allows you to observe search volumes, it allows you to observe seasonality, it allows you to observe competitor insights, it gives you average prices on search terms, it gives you click-through rates, purchase rates, and all of this stuff. So lots of stuff that is highly useful if you know how to use it to leverage your own Amazon presence, whether it's on pricing or positioning, merchandising, or PPC. So within SQP, many of these metrics do come already. So cart ads, brand count is something that is in the original SQP report. What is not in the original SQP report is the stuff we see over here on the right side. First, everything that is called time intelligence. So these are the metrics I created to measure something over time. You can do whatever time intelligence makes sense to you. You could do like, how did my purchase share or my click share change week over week? So you can do a calculation on week over week basis. However, I don't have a strong opinion on week over week change metrics, because they are too much distracting you from a strategic vision into this very much daily, I need to change anything kind of thing. Oh no, I lost like 0 point something on my purchase share. Now I think I need to do something. While in reality, look at the bigger picture. Don't look at the weekly, look at the monthly, look at the quarterly, look how this is changing, and look how it's changing year over year. Are you growing year over year in your universe, in your keyword set, your keyword universe, or not? Are you getting better with your click-through rates? Is, how is the market changing? How are you changing? Are you growing? How are you not growing? And this on a week-over-week basis can make sense for certain things, but shouldn't be like the general guideline, in my opinion. Month over month, too much impacted from seasonality, I think. If you have like a month like July where you have Prime Day, and then you look in August and you compare it to July, or you compare July to June, it also doesn't make sense, right? Because you have like these prime sales peaks, and they will mess up with your data anyway. So year over year seems to be the best solution for time intelligence. Obviously, to do year over year measurements and kind of metrics, you would need the year over year data. So you need data from this year and from last year. Amazon allows you to download 65 weeks of data every new week. So every week you're not downloading your data, another week goes away, right? So make sure to download your data. I'm recommending this in every video. Download the data Amazon offers you, store it somewhere, because at some point Amazon will not allow you to download it anymore, because storing data costs lots of money, especially if you have 100,000 sellers and you store it for everyone. All right, now let's come to the metrics. So I'll do metrics on previous year and year over year. So I'm having so let's just take cart ads here as an example, brand count. I have this for this year. I have it for last year. So I do previous year. And I do year over year change, delta. The metrics, rather simple calculation here, is just doing like cart ads last year and divide it. So the previous year is just looking for how many carts did I had at the same date. Date here is week, specifically fiscal week. So I'm focusing on fiscal weeks, because weeks, if you focus on week, eventually last year it was week 22. Eventually last year it was week 22, and this year it's week 23. And then comparing weeks doesn't make sense. But fiscal weeks is always the same, so I'll recommend you to use fiscal weeks. So this metric is just looking at what was my measure last year, and then the year over year is basically just a divide this year divided by last year minus 1. That's a percent of change year over year. And I do this across all important metrics, not across all metrics, but across all, I think, important impressions, impression share, impressions and purchases, and clicks and cart ads, at least on some of these metrics. You could also do this on price if you want. There's also pricing metrics, but I've been focusing on, let's say, metric, impression, clicks, add to carts, purchases for my own brand and for the market. That's what they call total in SQP. And the shares. Shares means my portion of the pie, right? Click share, and so on and so forth. All right. Another important thing besides the time intelligence are the shares. You'll get the shares also within the original report. If you create a model, you would need to recreate shares as your own metrics, because otherwise it will not work when you stack the data, accumulate it. Then you would get a median or an average out of your shares. So you need to calculate them yourself when you build a model. That means a click share is defined as my brand count clicks for the weeks I'm looking at, divided by the total clicks for the weeks I'm looking at. Otherwise, if you use click share, that also comes with the report, and you look at it over 3 weeks, you'll get the average of these 3 weeks on your click share, or the median, and this doesn't make sense. So you want to have this calculated. So shares, click share, impression share, purchase share, cart ads share. Those are important to me. There's also a few things that are important to me: CDR %, and CDR percent brand and market. So this is like a own metric, I would say. So there's no click-through rate. There's a click rate inside SQP. Click rate is clicks total divided by search volume. And there's a purchase rate in SQP that is purchases total divided by search volume. A click rate and a purchase rate is not a click-through rate or a purchase or conversion rate. That is a little bit different. At least from traditional Google Ads performance marketing, a conversion rate is always orders divided by clicks and not search volume. And click-through rate would be clicks divided by impressions and not search volume. Both are fine. Both metrics have their way of being, and it's good that they're there. But it's not the same, right? Search volume is not impressions. Search volume is like meaningfully less than impressions, because one search can trigger 25 impressions. So impressions will be 25x of the search volume. And obviously, if you do like clicks divided by search volume, you will have a very much different outcome than when you divide clicks with impressions, or vice versa. All right, so this is the ratios, the time intelligence we talked about, and now we talk a little bit about experimental stuff. I made a LinkedIn post about this already, but this is like talking a little bit more about them. I think they're very interesting, and I would highly recommend you to also think about those metrics for yourself. One is called conversion rate, SQP conversion rate. So this is not the purchase rate. This is what I just talked about. This is purchases divided by clicks. And I have this both on my brand level and on the market level. So on the brand level, I'm doing purchases brand count divided by clicks brand count. And on the market level, I'll do purchases total count divided by clicks total count. And then I have a conversion rate for my search term on the market. I know what my average conversion rate for the search term in that week or in these weeks is for that search term. On the market means all the competitors plus me and my own conversion rate. And this is powerful. Comparing my conversion rate, my own conversion rate per search query versus the market. This gives you leverage if you understand how to use it, right? If a conversion rate is too low, lower than the market average, I will have a hard time competing on that keyword. But if my conversion rate is higher than the market, I'll probably have a good time. All right. I do some deltas. So clicks, cardeds, and purchases come with price metrics. I'll give you kind of an insight into that from the base metrics. So there's like these purchase price median metrics that come, or clicks price median and carded price median, that gives you kind of the average price for the search query for that week that the product had that was clicked, or the median, not the average, the median price. And on the ratios, what I'm doing here is I'm doing, wait a second, where do I have it? No, it's on the experimental one. Sorry, ratios we just discussed, it's on the experimental ones. Click price delta means I'm looking at the market median price that was clicked. So whenever somebody clicked on a product, what was the median price of that product for all the clicks that happened in that week for that search query, and what was my price, my median price, and I do a delta of those to see if I have a lower price than the market or if I have a higher price than the market, right? This I can also expose this by just putting brand price median and total price median next to each other. Then I would see the difference, but the delta allows me to filter and slice and dice reports later on. Therefore, I'll do this on clicks, and I also do it on purchases. I'm not doing it on cardeds. That's just a thing. I don't pay too much attention to cardeds, to be honest. Maybe you do. Then you want to add this as well. And then two more very exciting things that are interesting to look at, and they can give you kind of a feeling of the size of a market. And they are also coming from the purchases. And this is something nobody probably has ever talked with you about, because this is something I came up on my own. I call it minimum market volume and captured market volume. This is using the median prices and the total purchases that SQP gives us. Let's say for search query A, we had 1,000 total purchases at a median price of $10. That means the minimum volume that was happening on that search query in that country in that week was 1,000 multiplied with 10. So 10,000 would be the minimum. Why do I call it minimum? Because SQP is not capturing all the sales. It captures sales that happens within 24 hours of attribution. It only captures organic and sponsored products. It doesn't capture sales that happens from sponsored brands, sponsored display, from widgets, from external, affiliate, whatever. So it doesn't show you the full market size. It shows you kind of a minimum market size. I called it volume. You can call it market size if you want. And that's interesting because it allows you to see how big is a keyword market per week, per year, if you have the year, if you sum it up per year. And that allows you to make a strategic decision if you want to go into a specific niche based on the volume of that niche. Meaning, how much sales can I possibly get on this term, right? Assuming I'm getting 10% of this, which is high, then this is what I would be getting. If I only get 1%, this is what I would be getting. And this can help you make actual business strategic decisions on niches where you want to conquer or where you want to retreat based on the volumes from SQP. Captured market volume is the follow-up metric of that. It's looking at the price for your purchases, the median price for your purchases that happened on your brand, multiply this with the purchases that happened on your brand. So if I, from the 1,000 at $10 on that one search query, if I had, let's say 100 at 15, my captured market volume would be 100 multiplied with 15, so 1,500 out of 10,000. And from that, you can extract a real market share, because purchase share only shows you your market share on the amount of purchases. It doesn't incorporate the difference in prices, right? If you have double the price and you get 1% of the market purchases, you actually get eventually double the market volume because your price is double. So 1% of all the purchases, but your price is double, means you get 2% of the total volume that is available, average volume in terms of sales volume available. And this is kind of powerful for like more long-term strategic kind of things. All right, already 80 minutes. Gosh, let's quickly pivot over to some widgets here. So these are all the metrics I'm doing. Hope they help you. Let's pivot to some views. I needed to blur some of the queries in order to be able to show this to you. But this is how you could leverage the minimum market volume and stuff like that. Like I mentioned to you, you do this by search query, you can do this by month, you can do this by week, you can do this by different marketplaces, different brands, different tags. We're also using tags or applying tags to the search queries. A search query could be branded, could be non-branded, could be a specific keyword category. This allows to also look at your SQP data by tags and not just by individual search queries. And then you can see, this is my minimum market volume for this search query. I'm currently getting a purchase share of 0.1%. My captured market volume is that, and so on and so forth, right? And then you can understand, is that a market in which I want to go and be in? Is that a market I can capture? Does it make sense to capture it? If this is like a 10 million market and I'm trying to get 50% of this, would be 5 million. if I want to get 5 million and I'm paying 10% tacos, this is 500,000. Sorry, this is 500,000 in marketing spend I'll need as well, right? So these strategic decisions you can do, and also you can look at this over time, obviously, how markets are changing. Can click on individual terms and you'll see like seasonality as well. On shares, something you can do here is just like purchase brand count previous year, purchase brand count this year. Look at this over time by week. Look at impression share, purchase share, click share over time. Look at the year-over-year changes from this, for example. So we can see here data's up and here data's down. You can do the same things per query. So you can build like a query table that shows you per query the click share, purchase share, impression shares, or like I think it's like this is like impression share, click share, purchase share, and brand count, brand purchase count. Look at this over time in a line chart, or look at this over time in a table by query. You can slice and dice this by a few more things. So this is all good stuff you can do once you build your own model. And an own model doesn't need to be in Power BI. It can be done in Excel. Obviously, you'll need to have the Excel ready, make a pivot, create a few calculated metrics, allow for year over year. Eventually, you need to append a few fields, a few columns to the original data. For example, if you want to do year over year on a fiscal week, you need to make sure that your raw data has fiscal week added. The raw data from Amazon just comes with reporting date. So there's only one date, and you need to transform this into a fiscal week so you can actually kind of do a year over year on a fiscal week level. If you want to do slice and dice your data with tags, you need to add another column that is tagging it. If you want to slice and dice your data by marketplace, you need to add a column for the marketplace and for the brand. So this all comes over time. This can be built over time. This can be built, and I'm pretty sure this is something you should all be thinking about, as it's very helpful for me, or was very helpful for me so far. And yeah, I'll come to an end. Let's be quick and short here. quick 22 minutes. Thank you all very much for listening. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you for listening to Amazon Ads Raw Daily.